This is the Trump Breaking News Network. Here's what's happening.
House passes bill to undo months of Obama regulations with just one vote. By Tyler Durden. The House of Representatives passed legislation on Wednesday giving Congress the power to kill so-called midnight rules, months of recently enacted Obama administration regulations with just one vote, as Republicans charged ahead on their campaign to strip down federal regulations. If passed by the Senate and signed by President-elect Donald Trump, the legislation would amend the Congressional Review Act to allow lawmakers to bundle together multiple rules and overturn them en masse with a joint resolution of disapproval. The White House has already threatened to veto the bill if it were to make it to President Obama's desk before he leaves office. Because outgoing administrations are no longer accountable to the voters, they are much more prone to issue midnight regulations that fly in the face of the electoral mandate the voters just gave the new, incoming administration, said House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte before the vote. Waves of midnight rules can also be very hard for Congress or a new administration to check adequately. It was the second time the Republican-dominated chamber took up legislation blocking midnight rules, those rolled out at the close of a president's term. However, the previous bill, introduced in November, had faced a certain veto from President Barack Obama, a Democrat. On its second day back in session, the House passed the bill on a vote of 238 to 184. Under a law known as the Congressional Review Act, Congress has the right to review regulations for a certain period of time after they are issued. That means any federal regulation approved since May could be voided by the Republican-led Congress once President-elect Donald Trump moves into the White House and can sign off on their disapproval. It would take just a simple majority of both chambers to reverse a rule, giving Senate Democrats little power to block a vote with a filibuster. Called a shotgun approach for a reason, as disapproving each regulation separately could span days, Republicans would like to simply vote once to end a variety of new rules on energy, the environment, transportation, banking, finance, education and media ownership. With Obamacare already being dismantled, the adverse impact on what's left of Obama's legacy could be dire. As Reuters adds, many Wall Street regulations inspired by the 2007-09 financial crisis have only recently taken final form or are on the cusp of completion, putting them in the disapproval line of fire. That includes two pending rules on payday lending and mandatory arbitration clauses in contracts, both of which have raised Republican ire. Cutting down regulation was a near-constant theme in Republican political campaigns last year, and is part of House Speaker Paul Ryan's Better Way agenda. The House is also expected to consider soon legislation that would require a congressional vote of approval for any new regulation.
This has been the Trump Breaking News Network. Please subscribe and share to stay up to date on the latest news about our president. Be informed.